iPhone 17 Pro Max. Which one would you choose? Orange, silver, or maybe blue? It's important to note that in some countries there's no longer a SIM card ejector tool included, because while eSIM used to be available only in the US, now there are more countries where it's supported. For example, Canada, Japan, and Mexico. Well, in any case, you can take a look at the full list. Right now, though, we're interested in something else. A display with an anti-glare coating. What is this PWM feature? New cameras. But first and foremost, of course, the design. Here it is, the new iPhone 17 Pro. It's still square, but thanks to an even smoother body, the difference is immediately noticeable. And for once, something has actually changed in the iPhone's design. Well, this really is something new since the iPhone 12, when the rectangular design was introduced. Now it's a unibody design, with only this part remaining glass, so wireless charging and MagSafe still work. And we say goodbye to the glass sandwich we've seen since the iPhone X. And yes, you can feel the difference, but the problem is that 90% of new Pro buyers will put them in cases, so there will not be any noticeable difference. One obvious advantage is the camera module. If you drop your phone on tile, even in a case, this part won't break because it's made of metal, so there's no chance of breaking it, but you could bend it. In terms of design, I can say that I like it more than the regular iPhone 17 and more than the Air. The orange color looks bold and unusual. Silver and blue will obviously be more popular because they look solid and more familiar. After all, not everyone likes to stand out. But overall, it feels like Apple seems to want to reshuffle its customers, sending some to the Pro version and offering the Air to others. I think the black color was removed for a reason. And in the spring we were expecting new colors, as sometimes happens with iPhones. When the iPhone 13 was released, the models came in an incredibly beautiful green color. The base 14 model also got an update in its color palette. The red color has not been on sale for a long time. Which color should you choose? If you want to show off and shout that you have a new iPhone, then of course go for the orange one. Personally, I like the silver one the most. Overall, the color is very calm, aluminum very pleasant. The blue option is also not bad, but let's put it this way. Whichever color you like, just go for it. The 17 Pro has a 6.9-inch display. The Pro Max has a 6.3-inch display. There are also new glass panels, second generation on the front, first generation on the back. But now the front panel has an anti-glare coating, and it was interesting to see that. The image seems a bit darker, but it's more like a tint. But in any case, it's a nice bonus. Let's take a look at the dimensions. The new Pro versions have become a bit bigger and thicker on all sides. They've also gained some weight. Can you feel it? Yes, every year iPhones get thicker, heavier and wider. I don't know whether to be happy about it or to cry. Nevertheless, the Pro Max looks more ergonomic and pleasant than previous generations. Just one more generation and we'll be back to the rounded edges of the iPhone 6. All the buttons are in their usual places, the action button, volume, lock, and everyone's favorite camera control. Tell me in the comments how often you use it. You might be surprised, but there is a difference in iPhone battery life between eSIM and a physical SIM card. It's 39 and 37 hours for the Pro Max and 33 and 31 hours for the Pro version. It's not much, but it's still there. For those who need improved phone connectivity, pay attention to the iPhone Air because it features the Apple C1X modem. Since we have the C1, it's obvious that the connection quality in the iPhone Air will be better. Then, for the first time, a vapor chamber for cooling appeared, which works together with the aluminum body. The vapor chamber absorbs heat and dissipates it through the body, which conducts heat better than titanium. In the end, Apple says everything will be fine, the phone will stay cool. Moreover, this is not only the most autonomous iPhone, but also the most powerful one. Inside there's a powerful A19 Pro chip and 12 GB of RAM. Benchmarks, of course, show incredible numbers, which will be even harder to reach. Not to mention Google with their struggling Tensor. Here's what I'll say. If you take the 17 Pro, the 16 Pro, or the Max, objectively, you won't feel any difference in performance. In my opinion, the main thing about this phone is the tactile sensation, because here you can really feel the difference. You'll also notice a difference in wireless connections. Has anyone had issues with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? That won't happen anymore because Apple has released their own N1 processor, which is available across the entire lineup. It includes Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6.0. Unfortunately, I can't check the Wi-Fi quality right now, but it should be improved. Let's talk about the displays. The bezels have become thinner and the panel is brighter. Now it's 3000 nits instead of 2000 nits. Are there any practical differences? I don't see any. However, you can enable PWM in the settings to use a different method of dimming the display. They say this might affect image quality, but I don't see any difference. If I turn it on or measure it with a device, nothing changes. And finally, the main difference, aside from design and performance, is the cameras. Now all the cameras have a resolution of 48 megapixels. That's convenient. The main one hasn't changed, only the aperture has improved. The wide-angle lens is better than ever, and the telephoto lens has increased its resolution from 12 to 48 megapixels. Not only has the resolution improved, but the sensor size has also increased by 56%. It has a 4x zoom, not 5x as it did before. That's more convenient for me. I didn't really like the 5x zoom. At the same time, Apple claims 8x zoom without loss of quality. The 18 megapixel front camera also received a major update, now using a square sensor to take horizontal photos while holding the smartphone vertically, and vice versa. There are 4 available options. That's really cool. I think the design and interface are the 2 key changes, especially for those who like taking selfies. But then the photos are saved, not on the phone, but on the laptop and viewed horizontally. Well, here are my initial impressions. The update is well deserved. With the Pro lineup, everything is always clear. If you want to get the most, choose the Pro version. Although now there's the basic iPhone 17, which has a 120Hz display, second generation ceramic shield, and cameras that are almost the same, 48 megapixels, except of course for the telephoto lens and some other small things. The real difference lies in the price, so the choice is up to each of us. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video.